Welcome to episode 19 of Trad Takes, hosted by the Traditionalists. As always, like, share, and subscribe. Leave a comment as I start every episode by reading a comment, as I will do now. Oh, before I do that, happy Memorial Day to everyone and anyone listening in the United States of America. Please remember to think about and pray for those who have died in defense of our country. Okay, now back to the comments. The most interesting thread in the comments section on last week's video had to do with a group that I had inadvertently left out of my musings on church unity, and that is the Feeneyites. Empty Seat 48 asks, what about Feeneyites? Where do they fit in? And the short version is that they do not fit in with church unity. They are not Catholic because they do not believe the full teachings and dogmas of the Catholic Church. They're heretics, exactly like the Novus Ordo, which they hate so much. In fact, they are even more obviously heretics than the Novus Ordo because Father Feeney, the founder of that heresy, was condemned by a true pope, Pope Pius XII. And the Novus Ordo has not been formally yet condemned by a true pope because we haven't had one to condemn them. We have EC2 here asking, not a Feeneyite personally, but I don't understand the hatred for them. Feeneyites are the least of our worries. And I would disagree that they're the least of our worries. Unlike the Novus Ordo, which is more and more obviously a heresy and more obviously not Catholic, the Feeneyites are much more subtle about their heresy. Well, maybe subtle is not the right word. The fact that they promote themselves as traditional Catholics and opposed to the Novus Ordo, and yet have this one blatantly heretical belief that they hold, almost makes them worse. It makes them more dangerous because they look closer to the real thing, and yet are just as not the real thing as the Novus Ordo. So that's why I'd say I don't think they're the least of our worries. They're up there. Yeah, so I'm not a priest. Go talk to your local priest if you want to know more about why Feeneyism is a heresy and why it should be avoided and condemned. But I think the fact that Pope Pius XII has already condemned it should be enough for all of us. On to the news. This first one I thought was pretty funny. The country of Turkey is now weighing their citizens in public to combat obesity. So we all know about the Make America Healthy Again movement and RFK and all of that. But it looks like Turkey's taking the next step to officially fat shaming, which I don't know how I feel about. Yeah, the details here is there is a campaign in Turkey. Their goal is to measure the body mass index, the BMI, of 10 million citizens, so 1/8 of the population of Turkey over the next 2 months. It sounds like they have health officials just kind of hanging around and making random BMI stops, making people hop on a scale and get their heights and weights measured. If your BMI is over 25, then apparently they send you to go get help. So I don't know what you all think about this. Leave comments on this video, or if you like this, if you don't like this. There's a part of me that really likes it, the anti-PC part. Just the blatant fat shaming is actually pretty funny, I guess. And then there's, of course, the American part of me that doesn't want the government telling me how to live my life or what is healthy or what is not. For reference, BMI is a terrible measure of health, right? It's basically, well, it's not basically, it is your weight divided by your height and then adjusting the units to make it come out in the 10s, 20s, 30s. And if you're like a short guy who's really ripped and works out all the time and in super good condition, because you have that muscle mass, it doesn't take into account muscle versus fat percentage. And so that muscle mass can call you obese. Most linebackers in the NFL are obese by the BMI scale because they are stacked, ripped, jacked. So I think it's, from that perspective, it's kind of a dumb thing. Glad it's not the US, but I'm curious to see how it will work out in Turkey. RFK, don't take any notes. On our shores, there's news that Joe Biden has officially been diagnosed with prostate cancer, and far advanced prostate cancer. Like, it's in his bones. He's not going to live very long. I don't know why this one has been politicized so much. It seems like Republicans have been jumping on saying, like, well, they knew this way back when. Why didn't they tell us? And like, it's this big cover-up. And I don't understand why that would be more of a cover-up than his dementia or the fact that he wasn't running the country those last 4 years. Like, I mean, sure, you can add it to the list, but it's not like a breaking story. So don't need to say much on that other than pray for Joe Biden. Finally, it made all kinds of conservative news, and everyone seems very happy that, quote-unquote, Pope Leo XIV affirms marriage is between a man and a woman and defended the dignity of unborn children. And the fact that a lot of people, and a lot of good conservative people, are super excited to hear that just makes me sad. The fact that you're over the moon because the Pope is saying things that are true, or that you're celebrating because, yay, we have a Pope that sort of looks Catholic. That's a bummer. And it just tells you how low the bar was set with Francis and how much more dangerous a false pope and heretic Leo XIV is. Anyway, I think that about wraps it up for today. God bless you all. God bless these United States of America. And God bless all those who have given their lives for this country.